Ladies and gentlemen, welcome home. This is Alaska D here once again. Been away for a while, but we are back on the grind, bringing you episode 2 of Understanding Spawns. The series is going to go through first every map for Team Deathmatch. Wanted to pick Tehran Highway because this is a map that easily showcases the points that I talked about in episode 1 about people spawning in zones. This is the map that I played and originally learned the concept from, or observed the concept from, because this map is, very linear. It's just a highway, or some houses aside of the highway, and it's basically just one long line. And the main point being that the spawns are only random at the beginning of the game, and they're random if you push into the opposite team's spawning zone. But we've established the fact that teams have zones and they will spawn within their zone unless you push in and displace them there. And you can tell that easily on Tehran Highway because if you pay attention, you see that teams spawn on either side of the map. Now right here at the beginning, we saw that I had spawned on that one side, and I immediately pushed towards the middle because the way it works is there's always a few spawns in the back, and then there's going to be a few spawns in the middle, and whoever kind of wins the middle battle first, it'll decide who spawns on what side. So if I had lost that battle at the very beginning, where I had spawned and lost some teammates, and the opposite team had pushed back into that spawn, that would have become their place to respawn from, and they would have owned that side of the map. But we won the battle. We pushed out into the middle, and we pushed onto their side. Got a bunch of hit fire kills right there that you just saw. The A91 with the laser sight is incredibly accurate from the hip at a ridiculous distance. I very much enjoy it. You might be wondering why I'm even playing Engineer, seeing how it is Team Deathmatch and there are no vehicles. And I would say because of the power of the A91 at close range, and also because of the RPG. The RPG is extremely useful for clearing out people at range or from behind buildings. In Bad Company 2, I played Engineer almost exclusively because I believed in that game, more so than this game, but still in this game, I believe that the Engineer is the most powerful slaying class altogether, not the Assault class. Although the Assault class is buffed considerably in this game because it's also the medic class, so being able to heal yourself while having a very accurate assault rifle is very powerful. I think in terms of meeting any situation, the Engineer class is definitely more powerful than the Assault. And I really enjoy the AA91. Right here, didn't want to challenge that kid again. Hopped up, didn't get a hit marker, so just ran away. But you've seen most of the kills are hip fire because the AA91, high rate of fire, very accurate. Works out for my play style. I like to have high mobility, and aiming down the sights slows you down. So I gravitate towards guns that let me have that high mobility. I'd seen my teammate die, paid attention to the sound, went over, killed that kid, and as we talked in past videos about constant aggression, I cleared the kid out in the middle, and I saw that my team was moving up, so I instantly focused on their spawn zone, which is what you always want to do. I had heard the kid call out on the steps, didn't want to charge down the steps because that's usually going to be a death for you, so you wait. I made a mistake here. I should have waited till they both came up and shot the second kid first, but I got freaked out because they were both assault, both medic. I killed the one kid first. I should have gone to the house to kill the second kid and not chase him around the corner, but at this point I had noticed the score and I had gotten into enough gun battles that I felt confident that the kid wouldn't outshoot me. Don't know how the RPG did not kill. Little late thoughts right there, but I tried to fire and didn't realize that my gun had been switched off of full auto. Try to pay attention to that, it might get you killed a lot of the time. Once again, right here displaying even more so the fact that we have spawn zone. I spawned back on my side of the map even as I was on the other complete side of the map, but hadn't pushed into their zone yet. So I spawned there, run towards the middle. These guys had either flanked or some of my teammates had pushed into their zone enough to displace them for them to spawn near the middle. Didn't want to charge that kid, so I threw a nade. But once again, we noticed the focus is on their side of the map because I know they're spawning there. That kid was waiting around the corner. I didn't even think to check that corner because after all the shooting and stuff I had done, I figured anybody there would have already charged around the corner, but he was very patient and waited. So we'll see, once again, our zone is on the hillside, or A side if you play Conquest, and we kept on pushing out. I noticed the red triangles, so first thing I did is check towards their spawn and make sure I didn't get killed from behind, and then I push in and get a nice little triple, including the weapon star for the AN91. You see my whole entire team is right here. Whether they know it or not, they're moving up correctly to put pressure on the opposite team as they spawn down on Russian deployment, or C side if you play Conquest. Got killed on the stairs. Don't know how my teammate didn't realize the person was there. I get revived, and my teammate has still not noticed that he is right there. I have to kill him myself, which is kind of ridiculous. I was laughing and raging at that kid at the same time. Although with no mic, it doesn't really matter. Just right here, you see it's 80-41. They haven't been able to push out of their spawn at all. They've resorted to mortaring and sniping. A few assaults have pushed out, but we know where they're spawning at. We just keep putting pressure on them, and we're doing it correctly. You know, even if by accident we don't push all the way into their zone and displace them. Because if we were to push past this wall right here and into their zone, they would start spawning on the opposite side of the map and in the middle of the map, and they'd be behind us because the entire team is pushed almost past the middle point of the map. Now right here, I had noticed they keep all spawning there. I want to go back and kill them all. I'd be sneaky. I equipped my suppressed gun first so I could get a few kills at the very, very back of their spawn with the suppressor, and then double back on the other people. But the mortar kid decided that he was going to spawn there and see me right as I had flanked. This kid had the right idea. If you get trapped in your spawn, you want to push wide on that street, because very few people actually pay attention to the street. But then there's people like me that hate getting killed from the flank, and we RPG you. Just like that. Another reason that engineer class is very useful in team deathmatch is things like that. He was behind cover, couldn't really see him. I had a general idea of where he was. I can just fire that RPG. If I get a hit marker, I know he's still there. If I kill him, then he just gets really irritated. Awesome random teammates this time. I was playing alone, and they're right on point. I was also playing on a US server. I live in Europe, as I've said before, and I was surprised by the shot placement and the shot registration. It was actually very, very enjoyable. So that's that, a 30-7 gameplay team deathmatch Tehran Highway, and it was only that way because of understanding the spawns. Get 2 10,000 point medals, server star 26, finishing up the ribbons, and we're done. Episode 2, team deathmatch Tehran Highway, understanding spawns. Leave me a comment to let me know what you thought, and rate the video, please. It helps out the channel, and in turn provides more content for you guys. If you guys have any weapons, maps, game types that you'd like to see, please let me know. And I hope you all have a good holiday, whatever you are celebrating, and enjoy the time with your family. And have a good night, guys. Cheers.